Oki Nadanaku Sinapaki. My name's Dee Hoyt. I'm the Division Chair of the Education Department, and I want to share a little bit about our community college and growing our own teachers in our school district. This is a group effort. We couldn't do this without our 2+2 partnerships with the Browning Public Schools, Heart Butte Public School, U of M Western Dillon, and we actually helped Crow Little Bighorn join our program of recruiting teachers. This is our education staff. We have Lana, she's an adjunct from U of M Western. Vicki Howard, she is our 2+2 coordinator, our PI from Crow and Browning, and she does a lot for U of M Western as a professor and just keeping us on track. Robin is our education instructor here. Sierra is our 2+2, and Charlie just came to our team as our administrative assistant. The Department of Education puts out an Indian Ed Professional Development Grant. 2016 to 2020, we teamed up and wrote the grant to build our teaching program. 2018-2023, we wrote another grant to continue our education program of recruiting Native students to become teachers in our public schools. 2021 and 2025, we wrote another grant to fulfill the requirements of keeping our students in seeking education in teaching. So the first grant, we were all gung-ho. We went and we said that by 2020 we'll have 40 Montana certified teachers, and we went to our first meeting in Washington, D.C., and they said, what? How do you get 40 students to become teachers? Well, little did they know we had already had them in the pipeline because they already had their AS degrees, and we was just trying to find a way that they could stay here at Browning, work in the school district, and still work towards their 4-year degree. So it was a passion. I was very passionate of not sending them out to the university, and said, why can't we offer our 300 and 400 level classes here at BCC? Tried to team up with several other universities, but they would not let us teach their curriculum here at Blackfoot Community College. So I reached out to the U of M Western through our PK grant and asked them, would we be able to teach our curriculum here? And Dr. Howard just said, why not? Let's give it a try. I do things that are outside the box, but I guess to benefit our students here. I did not want our teachers have to leave their families to get their education. So we teamed up and with the school district and was able to successfully recruit the 40 students. On top of that, I went to the school district, recruited aides for our second grade grant, and so I said we'll have 35 students in the teaching pipeline through the 2018 grant. And I was still lacking more funding for another 35 students, so I reached out to Department of Ed again, and by 2021 we have another 32 students in our grants. So a total of 109 students, and our first cohort team here, we started being able to teach our classes. We had classes from our instructors. We reached out to the instructors of the public schools. 2008, I believe, I was in a cohort for my master's degree, and I reached out to some of the students that done that are still teaching at the public schools, and asked them if they wanted to be adjunct to teach this lovely group of students. and they all agreed that they would help produce and homegrown our own teachers. So, like I said, it was a team effort. If we did not have the Browning Public School, our Heart Butte schools, and most of all the students that wanted to keep their jobs at the schools and do classes at night. The classes, they had to be face-to-face and then some hybrid just to fit into all the classes into after-hour setup. The benefits, they were able to stay home, stay employed, the social connection, and space time for learning. So they actually got to use their hours if they were aides at the school or if they were working on a provisional at the schools. They were able to learn, stay in their classroom or go to the classroom to get some hours in for their labs. The partnerships, once again, I can't stress how that we had to totally work with the school district. Superintendent Gardapi, Superintendent Tatsy out at Heart Butte just said, you tell us what we need and we will help you get some hours for your students. And flexible, it had to be flexible for some of them due to the children that they're due to their family needs to as children. The curriculum courses that we designed, the curriculum came for Western, but Western was so excited about this program, they did allow us to integrate our cultural, our language, the relationships between, I always say taking our Blackfeet ways of knowing and sprinkling Western onto the courses, and they were impressed. Some of the instructors and higher ups at Western was like, "There's no way you could do 40 students in little small Blackfeet community college." So they came up and went to our classrooms, saw our teachers, saw our classes, and they were totally impressed with what we were doing. So. With that. So here's kind of a statistic. When we recruited, like I said, it started small. The grant came out in 2016. We had to set it up, get familiar of how we were going to do it. We recruited 9 students the first year because they were kind of in the more head of the people of the other cohort team. In 2017, we recruited our 31. 2019, we recruited, and then it kind of overlapped. We had a overlap where we didn't have enough students that were at the AA level or AS level to fit into it. So we reached out to Little Bighorn College, and they sent us 24 students to integrate our native to meet our goal. So there's 105 students as of today. Within that, they worked with us off of our grant, and then we teamed up and wrote them a grant to help their students in Crow. So I still say that we take credit of getting Crow, our Little Bighorn, going with their grant. Look how far we came. This is our first group, and this is what is my heart. Is they asked me to teach at Western to bring in our art methods of art 397L to bring our Blackfeet ways of knowing into their curriculum because of the arts that are being taught in Western society. We could use our Western world to teach those arts of music, art, storytelling, our identity, our history, our cultural. And so they said, go for it. So I've been doing a class for them and taking our students to our sacred sites, our history, the history in Fort Benton of our oral stories that Bob Scriver made, all Napi stories, all our, in the museums down there that he holds all our Napi stories. He made artifact or art figures for them, and it's just really something for our students to get a grasp on. When I first started it, I was trying to figure out, are they going to understand why we want them to teach our Blackfeet ways of knowing into the education classroom. And lo and behold, it surprised me when they stood up and presented their PowerPoints of all the places we went. And this was our first cohort team that we went through. Like I said, it was started small, and so we always give a cadoodles. And then 2019, we're getting a little bit bigger. What was really neat about this is we had one of the moms said that their graduate, it was Tony Tatsy said that her daughter graduated from U of M Western, and she wasn't allowed to wear her eagle feather at the time, and it's only been maybe 15 years ago, if that. Sorry, Michaela, if you get to watch this, I'm not too sure. It wasn't too long ago, and then we are wearing stand-up headdresses down there, so they really acknowledge our ways of knowing and understanding so then we 2021, like I said, that 2021 was our adjustment, and that's when we picked up the Crow Little Bighorn students to join our cohort, and we done leaps and bounds down there with how many teachers were graduating. And 2022 is another group that went through our program. And I want to say that with this being said, that most of our students are hired before they even finish their BS degree from the school district, both school district. 2023 is our graduates as of now, and we have probably about 10 that's in that borderline. If we're going to get another grant in, we can't pick up on this grant because we have fulfilled our criteria. So 2023 we'll have 4 December grads, and then we'll have 12 2024 grads. So what the grads get out of this program is they get their tuition paid, they get daycare paid, they get their internet paid. We reached out to different people to get a funding going. So if we can't do it throughout the grant, then we have indigenous funding that they get to tap into. With that being said, it's a pretty good program for our teachers. What I get excited about is when I walk into the school district and you see all these students that came from our program. That's I guess a awe moment for me. I went to a Indian powwow down at Vine Chat, and every one of our teachers that came through our program were teachers, or they were doing their residency, or they were aides, but now they are actually in our program. And even the drum group who done a music endorsement through our program, he had his drum group there having their little kids doing the powwow music. So it was just honor just to be able to do that. But the downfall too is they have to get C or better in all their classes. We try to help them get, they have to do the praxis before they can get their certification too. So the results are that our retention and recruitment are working out. I want to stress on the first one is the 60 thing, is that it would be probably 100%, but our 2 education majors, they are now tribal council members, so that's kind of why that's down. And the other one went into law, and he just got his law degree as of this year. So I can't say it's not working out. They just went into a different employment, but it's still a good turnout as far as what we're doing. And Little Bighorn is at 100%. So I guess the benefits from this is that we recruit them and we routine them, we keep them, we give them professional development for 2 years. Once they get there, they always say that when teachers get their first year of teaching, they get kind of stressed out, so we try to provide them with a professional development plan, and then if they need to buy into it, or if they need funding to help them get the higher education they're seeking, then we'll help them do that through this grant. We get to see them for 2 years. I think I'm the only, and I'm going to say this with a quotation, I think education department is the only education that can follow their students and track their students to where they're at in employment, where they're at in their degree, and if they're still doing teaching on that. So I track them, and I have tracked them since I started in, gosh, I hate to say, 2001. So I always get excited when that question comes up at the staff meeting. Does everybody know where your students are since you started? And they're like, they all look at me. Dee does, and I do, but you know, it's some of my passion is I always want to see where everybody's at and what they're doing. This seems to work for now. This is a project that is totally dear to my heart, is that if I didn't do it by trial and error, I probably wouldn't be this far as putting so many people, so many teachers in the classroom, so many certified Montana teachers in the classroom. Because if I would have just sat back and asked for permission to, oh, maybe we should try it this way and see what happens, no. You try it, you go from there, and then you change it to make sure it fits the needs of your students. So that's kind of how online classes work. But you have to have that hands-on training to go with that online classes. Daytime courses don't work for them because they all want to be at the school with their students at the school. Weekend courses, every now and then you could throw a weekend in, but you can't throw a weekend in every weekend. And if you do, you make sure that weekend that you're teaching that course that they can bring their family. Theory and practice is again, trial and error. Sometimes it works as you introduce the theory, then they could practice it. You introduce the lesson plan and have them go up to the classroom and teach it. We try to make sure everybody is, assess all our students, make sure they get what they are getting in the 200 level classes so they could bring forth to the 400 level class. We're getting better at it, another trial and error, so they'll be ready for their 300 and 400 level classes. So.